We go.
Heck yeah.
What's going on, everybody? This is Fight Bros podcast number 21. Today is January 12th, 2020. As always, I'm Marcus Burks, and this is Albert Walters.
Hey.
And we got one of our good buddies, Ethan Barker, back for the second time.
Yep. Now, the first thing I want to point out is we're here predicting a McGregor fight, and the last time I was on here, I definitely said McGregor was never going to fight again.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That was my big take, my hot take, and well, I mean, I guess something could happen, but they're going to fight. Conor doesn't back out of stuff, so.
Well, then whatever you predict today, you might be wrong about.
Yeah.
UFC's kind of like WWE, like never say never about certain stuff if the money's right.
I know, but WWE brings back like legends that should be retired.
And I mean, we'll get into this later, but I heard that Conor's making $5 million for this fight, and Cowboy's making $2 million. They're getting paid if that's true.
Then pay-per-view buys, right?
Huh?
Then pay-per-view buys.
Yeah, then pay-per-view buys.
And then
so that would be the
sponsors?
most Cowboys probably ever gotten paid
Most he's ever been paid.
to show.
Good for him.
Well, when he wins, I hope he gets a bigger purse.
I think so. That's what I read. I thought it was to show.
It's not 1-1.
I don't think so.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know it kind of ain't right. So, but whatever. McGregor's kind of a punk.
Oh, yeah.
Like it ain't right to pay him that much when Cowboy's been there for years. So, if that's true. So, let's dive on into it.
Yeah, let's get into the recent like stuff that's been going on as of last week. So, first we got on the list, we got Colby Covington. He seems to be back. He's supposedly competing in a grappling match in March. His coach also said Colby will be ready to fight a top 10 welterweight. Said anybody, or a top 5 welterweight. Anybody in that top 5, they said they're ready to take on in April or May. He was also spotted playing pickup basketball at LA Fitness. I watched the video. It looked like he was playing pretty hard. So I think it's safe to say that jaw is it's healing pretty well.
So it wasn't like hanging down here or anything ugly like that.
Yeah. What are y'all's thoughts on this? You first, Ethan.
Well, I guess my first thought is we were talking about Conor being a punk, a real punk, and Colby.
Yeah.
No, his character that he does. But I think it's interesting. Maybe, I mean, was it confirmed he broke his jaw?
Yeah.
That was confirmed.
It's only been a few weeks, right?
Yeah, it's only been like 3-4 weeks.
December 14th. Yeah, it was
4 weeks ago.
A middle break right down that chin.
Oh, where they join?
Yeah.
Because broken bones are normally 6 to 8 weeks, right?
I guess it was more like a crack. But
yeah, like if that broke though, like you'd see his chin like cave in almost.
But what's kind of throwing up a red flag for me is the grappling match. I don't know, did y'all know Cub Swanson just 2 weeks ago blew out a knee in the grappling match? I don't know why those dudes do
Luke
those.
Rockhold got bloodied up in the grappling.
But as far as who I think he should fight, so I guess is a rematch with Usman out of the deal, or is he?
I think so.
I mean, anything.
I think for an immediate rematch,
I want to get
out of the
both of y'all's opinions on a top 5. So we can say stuff's going to be played out by April or May. So I mean, y'all can say Usman rematch. Everything's on the table in that top 5.
So it's Usman, it's Jorge, it's Woodley, it's
Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards.
And
which Woodley and Leon are already scheduled, right?
Yeah.
Oh, are they? Oh yeah, that's right.
But that's UFC London in March, so
yeah. I
mean, it wouldn't be.
I guess it depends on that fight, because you'd think Jorge might get the next title shot.
Yeah.
I guess maybe whoever wins that Woodley Edwards fight.
Mm-hmm. Were you watching that Colby fight, Colby and Usman?
No.
Did you see?
I saw the highlights. Okay.
Yeah. That was a fun fight.
Yeah, it was a close fight until Usman finished it, right?
Yeah. Well, that's with me. Like, I don't like Colby's character, but kind of gained a slight bit of respect for him that day because I mean he is a tough guy. That's I think within the MMA community or just fans in general, like you had to gain a little bit of respect for him as a fighter because of how tough. Yeah.
The only thing the thing that I hate the most about him is the arrogance.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's the stuff I can't stand. That's one reason why I'm not a big Connor fan, because he's just he's so arrogant.
Just be real like Diaz.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'll agree with that. Like Diaz is pretty real. Masvidal is pretty real.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk a little crap, but like that's part of the game. Like these dudes are just like airheads. So, but I was excited to see him lose. But is that your boy?
No,
No.
I don't like Covington. I'm a big fan of Usman and Jorge.
Oh, okay.
Well, really all of them except for Colby.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like Woodley. I like them all. There's very few fighters that I don't like.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of the same way. Yeah.
Colby, TJ, that kind of got those guys.
I don't think you're wrong on that, man. I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Jorge would be a bad fight for Covington, but really, I don't know if he deserves that fight, because I think Jorge deserves that Usman fight.
We want that fight at a certain point. I just don't think
Covington and Jorge.
They're just not going to give Jorge that fight with Covington coming off a loss.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That like Covington's not going to get that fight, so Jorge might get a title shot, while Woodley and Leon are going to fight.
Yeah.
And then the winner of that fight either might fight Covington, or they just might fight, for the next title.
Mm-hmm.
If Jorge and Usman fight. So.
Nah, they're gonna, if Woodley wins this next fight with Edwards, they're gonna make him fight somebody else. They're gonna make his road back hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
but if Leon wins, he'll probably get that title shot.
Yeah, and he might, because Dana White doesn't like Woodley or Covington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he views them as difficult. They might just be fighting for what they feel like they deserve.
Yeah, they're thorns in his side.
Yeah, but that's how Dana views them. They're gonna get treated as such.
Yeah,
and that's my opinion on it too. Like I think if Woodley wins, Woodley and Covington's gonna be that fight to make. Woodley might do a quick return. If he could do a quick return and fight in May, maybe fight Covington later in the summer, that's the fight that I feel like the UFC wants to book. Is they want to book that fight. You can market that fight very well with them being former teammates. And I think this is why I told you. Like I know it's kind of when we were predicting like 2020 fighter of the year. I think the road is set for Tyron Woodley because he's gonna have Dana White's gonna give him a tough road back to that title. If he can go down that road, I believe he would be 2020 fighter of the year. I know that's a tough prediction to make right now. He would have to do it, but I believe his road back to a title shot is going to be 2-3 fights, then that title shot.
Woodley?
Yeah. And if he could go down that road and do all that, I mean, it would be hard to argue, just like Masvidal.
I don't think it'd be bad. But if whether Woodley wins or loses, he's not getting a title shot next. He's going to have to fight Covington. He's probably going to have to fight Jorge, maybe even Leon again. Who knows? Like it ain't going to be easy for him.
Yeah.
So, but he seems hungry. Like we haven't seen this kind of Woodley in a long time.
Rested. He feels disrespected.
Yeah,
That's a dangerous combination, especially somebody as talented and the physical freak that Woodley is.
Oh yeah, and I think he's disappointed in himself. Like, oh, why was I like a bare minimum champion for the longest time?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm excited to see him bring his A game back. Any more regards on that, Marcus?
No, I just want Colby to come up to the YMCA in Pulaski.
For what?
If he's gonna play at LA Fitness with random people, he needs to come to the Y.
Marcus gonna drain after in his face and then that Gallinari.
Yeah.
The hand thing is.
Nobody's fighting him though. Nobody's. That'll be one person at the YMCA people don't want to talk too much to.
His jaw is soft right now.
He'll just shoot you a double leg and beat the hell out of
you.
Yeah. Oh man.
So let's move into our next topic. We got Mike Perry. He is keeping his name in the news lately. He's beefing with the famous actor Michael J. White. A lot of you may know him from Blood and Bone. He's in the Never Back Down 2, Never Back Down 3. He makes a lot of karate movies. He's probably the top martial artist actor we have right now.
Modern day Bruce Lee.
Yeah. And but Mike Perry felt disrespected by some comments that Michael J. White, he came out with a video recently He was talking about working with Kimbo Slice in Blood and Bone. He said there was some type of move that they was doing in Blood and Bone that he thought Kimbo should have knew how to avoid or something as a martial artist. And he said he taught Kimbo, and he said he was surprised how Kimbo like was, coachable kind of. He was ready to listen about it. And then Mike Perry took offense to that. He was like, "You're disrespecting the legend, this and that." He was like, "I want to fight you in a Kimbo Slice backyard brawl, like back in the day on YouTube." What's y'all's thoughts on this? Mike Perry's my boy too, but
that's tough.
I don't agree with him.
Tough look.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have much of an opinion on this. It's kind of, you got a fighter who's kind of on his downhill right now.
Yeah, he's
wanting to fight an actor.
Dude, one more loss and I think Mike Perry gets cut.
That's what I'm saying. So like, if he fought Michael J. White in someone's backyard, the UFC would probably kick him out if he lost, because like, you lost to an actor.
And I honestly think my take on it is, if this happened, I think Michael J. White being 53 years old would beat him.
Wow. I don't think so.
I don't know.
Well, we've never actually seen Michael J. White fight for real.
Yeah.
Sure, he has all these belts, but it's kind of hard to make that prediction when you've never seen him fight.
Yeah.
So, sure, he's a good Hollywood actor fighter, but I don't know, man. That's someone who Mike Perry might be able to beat.
I know a lot of UFC fighters in the past have vowed and said that Michael J. White's real, though. Like, he's got real skills.
I know, but what happens when he really gets hit? That's my thought.
Well, all the movie stuff is choreographed. I mean, it's essentially dancing.
Yeah.
I'm sure. He trains. He can fight some people, but
you said he has all these belts.
Beat a professional fighter. I mean, even wins are tough for Mike Perry right now.
Yeah.
And, like you said, it's probably getting close to being on the back end of his career and maybe bouncing over to Bellator or something. But,
the UFC's about to put that.
I don't think he's done. I don't think he's going to retire. I just think the UFC might move on from him, especially with the big personality and he's not winning and that kind of thing. But,
I don't think he'll stop fighting. I just think he might stop fighting for the UFC unless he's getting those W's. Yeah. So it's but if these two happen to fight and they're bare knuckles or wrapping a little tape around your knuckles or whatnot, I'm still giving it to Mike Perry, though. Like, I know he's not his best right now, but I don't think Michael J. White's ever been really punched by a professional fighter.
He trains with pros. I don't know.
It's training. Yeah. Like, you're not like full out fist fighting.
Yeah, but what professional trainer said? What's the WWE guy that came over and fought?
Who, Brock Lesnar?
No,
Alberto Del Rio.
No, he stunk and got beat by the
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Because there was some high level guy like, he's legit. And he's gotten way better, and then he went out there and just got destroyed by a scrub.
Yeah.
So,
that's all WWE is. It's not as choreographed as Michael J. White's karate movies, but it's all planned out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you know that, Marcus.
I know. Thanks for ruining it for me.
Next thing you're gonna tell me, Santa's not.
Yeah.
Guys, we got kids who are watching. Oh well, I don't know, man. I would put my money on Mike Perry if that happened.
Yeah.
So. I mean, that's silly.
There's a 0% chance of it happening.
Yeah,
Michael J. White's smarter than that.
Yeah.
But if they actually fought Mike Perry, would have.
Yeah, I don't know. What's Michael J. White saying about it?
He responded, and he was like, he responded a couple of times, maybe like 2 times over Twitter, and then he was like, "I'm not gonna give you any more clout about it."
It's the right way to do
it.
Yeah. Responsibly deny getting your butt kicked.
He got his name out there. People are talking about him.
Yeah.
And he's out, and he looks good.
Yeah. Like,
so.
He wasn't like Machine Gun Kelly. Like,
that's what I was about to say. It's kind of like, I don't know if y'all know, Nick Cannon was taking all these diss songs at Eminem, and Eminem never responded because he was like, "You're terrible, so
what are you doing?
I'm not even going to respond to give you clout."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so if Mike Perry and Michael J. White fought, it would be like Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem. Well, like Mike Perry at the Eminem, but
Yeah, I was about
similar.
to say, do not say Mike Perry's.
Nah, he's definitely not the Eminem, but
Yeah.
it'd be similar.
Eminem.
Like you're
Yeah.
you're going against someone who's out of your league.
Mhm.
So, well, we got George Masvidal in the news. This
Seems like
week.
we talk about this guy every podcast.
But dude, he's the cream of the crop right now,
yeah,
though.
I do think he's the
Hot
top
right
guy in
Yeah.
UFC right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Without a
Everybody
doubt.
wants him. Everybody wants this dude. So, okay, so we got George Masvidal. This dude gets me excited. I love the hell out of this dude.
Yeah.
So, we got George Masvidal. He said he wants to break GSP's face. That's disrespectful.
I know.
That's pretty disrespectful.
Like, that's pretty disrespectful.
Sounds like
GSP's like
Masvidal would say.
yeah, like that's definitely something Masvidal would say. But it's like, dude, GSP's like a legend. Like, he's a goat. Please don't, tarnish his name like that. So he wants to break GSP's face. And so we're just trying to figure out what's next for this dude. There's a lot of talk.
Everything could be next for him.
Yeah.
So many fights.
Title shot, money fight.
Yeah.
If Connor
Mhm.
wins decisively, it could be Connor for a big money fight. If he wants the belt, which he didn't really talk about wanting the belt that much, he has a good argument for the belt. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I
Nick
think-
Diaz.
Israel Adesanya acted like he wanted to fight him.
Alasanya.
Like he's got everybody. GSP. I mean,
Yeah.
God Almighty, that dude's retired.
I would say the one person he doesn't have is GSP.
Yeah, Mayweather.
No, like he's got it. He wants him. It's coming out of his mouth, but I don't think that's actually
Well,
going to happen.
Jorge may want it, but going about it this way is not the way to get a GSP fight. Like, if we see GSP fight against Khabib, because Khabib
I
is
agree.
the professional, he's respectful,
Yeah,
he's
for
great. Jorge's great, but the talk and calling out, I don't think that's the way to get GSP.
no. But didn't GSP say the only way he would come back was to fight
Mhm.
Khabib?
At 55, I think,
Yeah.
because he wants a third belt.
Yeah.
GSP does.
Yeah,
Yo.
that's not only fighting Khabib, who's the undefeated, maybe best of all time, but he could also get that 55 belt and be the first triple champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember the
But
fight.
that's the thing. GSP's the goat. So like,
Yeah,
I could see him getting that belt.
And, I mean, who knows? But rumor is that he's cut a bunch of weight, and it's in the cards for him.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. What were you saying, Marcus?
I said a lot of people too have discussed like Kamaru Usman versus GSP being like a dream fight, but I don't think he's gonna take that. I think that's a more dangerous fight than Khabib.
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, no matter what about dangerous, I think Ethan has a good point. Like he just wants that belt
Mhm.
at 55. So if Usman was at 55 and had a belt, sure he'd probably go for that. But I just think he wants another belt.
Yeah, and to be the one guy to be able to slay the dragon that is Khabib, the Russian dragon.
Now that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that would solidify him though.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
people question whether or not GSP's the GOAT. If you took down Khabib and got the belt while you were retired,
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive.
And I mean, his peak run was in the steroid era, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he as is already probably is the GOAT, either him or Silva.
Yeah.
Silva kind of got tainted a little bit. But,
Yeah, I was gonna say the bad thing is Silva's lost a few times
and
'cause he's gotten
failed
older.
drug tests, but
and failed
is
drugs.
that old age that he's trying to hang in there? Or, who knows?
Hey, I think
But you-
DC's in this conversation too.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe.
DC beat a prime Anderson Silva.
But-
DC's two
yeah,
losses were against somebody who
who's probably
had to
the
do
GOAT.
PEDs.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
then-
that's a.
If he bounces back and beats Stipe, I think that argument for GOAT is
But you still have the visual of him getting head kicked.
yeah.
That's tough for him, and that's fine. The only two people he's lost to is, some of the best champions of all time. So there's no shame in that game.
No,
Just
definitely
dominate
not.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
I definitely think if we're talking about the GOAT, GSP's higher up than DC.
Which I agree because I feel like when you're a GOAT, like I like people that have lost and they came back and rebounded from those losses. He rebounded from his loss against Matt Serra,
Yeah.
Johnny Hendricks, correct?
And GSP's
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah. But I mean, DC's got a chance to make history against Stipe,
Mhm.
beat Stipe, a guy that beat you, knocked you out in the
He
fourth
still would
round.
have to beat John Jones.
Yeah.
Which ain't. Well, I was
he has
gonna.
a chance at a heavyweight just because of that extra punching power, and who knows what John Jones looks like at heavyweight. Hopefully, we find out this year.
Yeah.
So.
If he fought John Jones and won, I think that whole GOAT status wouldn't be a bad status to start talking about.
I don't think that's it. He's not interested in that.
I know he's not. He's too old.
Yeah.
So it ain't gonna happen.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah. He's too old. He's too tired. Popeyes, KFC, it ain't doing well for him. Yo, real quick, have y'all had that sandwich?
I had the original sandwich. I
The
haven't had
original?
the spicy one. It's good.
It's a very good
It's
sandwich.
good,
Dude,
but it's not worth stabbing people. And
Yeah.
standing
Well,
in
like
line.
it's you got to be on a desert island starving to want to stab somebody over some food.
I think that it's a good sandwich. It is really good, and people just hate the owner of Chick-fil-A. So they want to. Chick-fil-A is still way better.
You think Chick-fil-A's better than that?
Absolutely.
I think
I gotta disagree.
Chick-fil-A's the
Well, dude, nah. There ain't no way. Chick-fil-A's never had anybody stab anyone else over a Chick-fil-A sandwich. So, that's really good bragging rights for Popeye.
Chick-fil-A doesn't run out of sandwiches either.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because nobody wants them.
I
Nobody's lining up at the door with Popeye sandwiches.
They got the operation down. They have the sandwiches. They have the people, and you're gonna be happy when you leave.
They got the 20. They got the 20 people an hour.
Mhm.
Popeye's got the 200 people an hour.
Yeah.
Of course Popeye's gonna run out of chicken. It's better chicken.
But for the record, everything else at Popeyes except for that sandwich has sucked.
You don't like it?
That's not great.
See, I don't even like fried chicken.
Oh man.
But I don't really like fried chicken that much. But I do love Popeye's fried chicken. I love that Cajun spice.
Hit Bojangles, it's better.
Where did you try
I don't think
that,
so, man.
Ethan? Did you try that in Whitfield?
Yeah, they're Whitfield.
Whitfield. Yeah, the times I went to the Popeyes in Whitfield, I haven't had a good experience. I think it's just because it's a truck stop and they don't keep it sanitary like they would.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had a bad experience with it. I went there and got a 3-piece and a soda. Might as well. But I got green beans and they gave me green beans and there was wax stuff all in it where they didn't cook it.
That's butter. That's butter because that wasn't heated up all the way. Yeah, that's rendered fat.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, this is pretty gross. And it was real waxy.
Yeah, that's pure fat, man. That's nasty as shit.
And I was like, but all the experiences I've had with the one in Roanoke have been great. The food's awesome.
It's a standalone restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I need to try it next
Well,
year.
and that's what I was going to say next is it really makes a difference because Hannah and I had the sandwich the first time in North Carolina. It was, oh my God, man, life-changing. It was the best chicken sandwich I've ever had in my life. Then I went to one in Roanoke because there's 2 in Roanoke. I went to one of them and I was like, man, I'm getting that sandwich again. And I was like, yo, this tastes like shit.
There's 2 in Roanoke?
There's 2 in Roanoke. There's one near there's one near the airport. Then there's one off of
Yeah, I know the other one is Electric Road.
The one
I was gonna say Electric and somewhere else it's
Creek, maybe.
Yeah, it's near the bad part of town.
Yeah. That's one I knew about. I didn't know about.
No, dude, there's one right beside the airport, and so if you're coming,
the one I always go to.
Yeah, and if you're coming from Pulaski, that's a better one to go to because it's closer.
It's off the interstate.
Yeah, it's right off the interstate. It's closer, but also it's quality. I had a chicken sandwich there, so much better than the other Popeyes. So maybe it's just that they're inconsistent. But
That's a tangent, man.
Huh?
That's a tangent. Some chicken tangent.
Yeah. So maybe it's the workers, maybe it's something else. But I will say there's some inconsistencies in the chicken sandwich, and I think that's where Chick-fil-A wins. Is they're more consistent, but it's not as good.
I mean, their service is better.
Dude, yeah. Chick-fil-A has the best damn service of any fast food restaurant. Yeah.
My favorite thing
everybody's so smiling. They're so happy.
You'll get people on Twitter that just hate, the politics of Chick-fil-A and they call it hate chicken, and that's funny.
Well,
I'll eat any chicken.
not on Sunday. No, that's kind of the problem with Chick-fil-A. Well, I got to blame that on Chick-fil-A, though. They're the ones who got political.
Well, it was just the owner. It wasn't even the restaurant.
Well, yeah, I know that. But
right,
that's why people...
Enough of that. That's enough of that.
Well, that's why people boycotted Jimmy John's. It's because, the owner does, big game hunting in Africa and stuff. Hunter. Yeah. So,
he's not hunting big bucks. He's out in Africa doing that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Elephants and stuff like that. And, that's already controversial.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're gonna go do that stuff and you're a CEO, don't talk about it.
Of course, he doesn't do the Africa stuff. There's a CEO of a company that makes fleece jackets and Sherpa type jackets.
Mm-hmm.
That he's a big hunter. He just doesn't talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and nobody would know. So that's.
But he does a lot. He does a lot for the environment, conservation and stuff. So
then you can't
he does it the
upset.
right way.
Yeah, well, and then you got to respect that, like people who are responsible with it. And that's why, the Jimmy John's is controversial because you're associating the restaurant with the owner, and that's where the Chick-fil-A CEO messed up.
Yep.
So, but on a lighter note, well, yeah, I was gonna say on a lighter
before
note.
we move on, let's all pick. I know it's hard. Pick a fight that Masvidal's next fight.
I thought you were gonna say pick who's the better sandwich. I was gonna say, dude, it's Popeyes.
I'm gonna say Usman. I don't know who else is ready for Usman. He's hot. Let's do it.
I don't think that's bad, man. I don't think it's bad. It just depends on what else comes up for him. Like if for some reason they give him Nick Diaz or whatnot, and it pays more, that's where Masvidal's going.
Yeah.
He's already announced he's going wherever the UFC pays him more.
Money and legacy.
Oh yeah, he wants more money. So whatever. Like he's pulling the Cardi B. So money.
Yeah.
Huh?
Money, Cardi B.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Great song.
Great song.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like I don't even like rap, but that crap gets me hype. So, yeah, I gotta agree. Just Usman, Nick, whoever.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Nick. I just feel like it's gonna turn out that way. I think he wants that fight. I think.
But is Nick even talking anymore though?
He put on his Instagram. He put a sweepstakes challenge. He said, "I'm making my UFC return pretty soon." He was like, "Here's sweepstakes to be invited cage side and to the after party." And he had a sweepstakes you could enter, and everybody was like, "It's kind of weird because we haven't heard anything."
Yeah.
But
maybe he's jipping him, man.
But I know Dustin Poirier said that he is interested in being the co-main event for Masvidal, Nick Diaz, and Dustin and George are very good teammates. For being the co-main event against Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
So I think him saying that they've probably been talking a lot lately, and
who knows?
I feel like Masvidal wants that fight.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad thought.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, we've got Dominic Cruz says he's healthy and ready to go within the next 6 months. We'll start with you, Ethan. Who would you like to see him fight next?
We were kind of talking about this before, but I'd like to see him rematch Cody Garbrandt, which was his last fight, the loss when Cody won the belt. But Cody's already scheduled to fight a Sun Sal. So, they'd have to, get the timing right on that.
When is that fight scheduled to happen? March.
Yeah, March
That's what we
28th.
was talking
There's a
about.
fight night in March.
You said it. Yeah.
Cejudo,
UFC
maybe?
ESPN
Cejudo's
6.
talking about wanting to fight the legends, the Fabers, the Cruises and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
He needs to be fighting title defenses and stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, TJ, he is, suspended forever.
So it was a 2-year suspension. I put him on here because I was thinking okay, so he's already served a year, I believe.
Yeah, because it was probably retroactive, right?
Yeah, so he could be ready to go in August or something.
Yeah, because he can be training and in shape the day after the suspension.
Yeah.
That's just suspension is just a fight.
Yeah,
because they can't tell you not to train, not to get in shape.
He's worked because he had the shoulder surgeries. He's already rehabbing and working.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's you can't tell somebody not to exercise and not to, not to train. You can only tell them not to fight.
That's like John Jones. I think when he came back and fought DC, the fight got announced while he was still suspended. That their second fight, and then so it was already announced.
But if he wants to go in the next
before.
6 months, maybe Aldo. Aldo just had the controversial loss. A lot of people thought he won.
Yeah, that was controversial though.
Yeah,
He didn't look terrible at 135.
So
yeah,
against a monster and Marlon, just the power wasn't there. But I don't think Aldo's He hasn't always been a powerful guy.
I think that
Yeah.
would be a fun and maybe safe fight for Cruz.
Yeah.
Not saying he wouldn't lose, but you're not going to go out there and get dropped by some crazy knee or head kick from Marlon. Or
Yeah.
if Cody gets his head out of his butt and doesn't fight reckless, Cody could knock him out.
Yeah.
Because, Cody dropped him 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And then didn't even pursue it. He dropped him and was dancing and pointing at him and playing with him.
That was
Yeah.
Cody's coming out party. I remember. That's when I started
I
liking Cody.
I had been a Cody fan for 4 or 5 fights before that. I'm a big Cody fan. Just disappointed his performances.
Yeah.
Well, then who do you think's next for Cruz, Marcus?
I agree with Ethan. I think it's going to be Cody Garbrandt. If it's in the next 6 months, I would believe if Cody Garbrandt can get that win in March, that should be what's next on a big summer card.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, there's a thing about Cody fights. They don't last long. He can knock somebody out if he gets knocked
Yeah.
out. So if he can get a win there, he should be healthy and good to go. And
Yeah, that's the thing with him is he's kind of he'll fight and then he kind of gets hurt. I know he kind of had deals with injuries after every fight, so hopefully he could get through this fight. Pretty healthy.
Yeah,
Get back pretty quick.
absolutely. Well, I'm excited to see what's next for Cruz. He's a hell of a fighter.
It'll be fun.
So
moving on to our next thing, decided since we just got into 2020 and we got a guest back on the show, we'll do another 2020 kind of like discussion. So we got a bucket right here with about 30 fighter names in it. Each of us is going to draw 5 names total, but we'll go around, like we'll pick, you'll state the name, kind of talk about, you can say anything about the name. You can say, oh, I don't like them. You can say 2020 is going to be like this for them. That's kind of more, I guess, we're trying to get out of. What is 2020 going to be like for that person? Whether they're going to be a champion, they're going to fight this guy,
nice. And you got a little bucket with like confetti looking stuff on the side. So it's like
Just
celebrating
found it
2020,
somewhere,
man.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Who goes first?
Let the gas go, man.
Yeah.
Stipe Miocic. Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
So that's I'm happy with that. I know that name. No.
Yeah, that's my fear is I
heavyweight
might
champ.
not know these people.
Current heavyweight champ. Of course, the big fight, if they can make it happen, is the rematch, the rubber match with DC.
Why are you calling it rubber match?
That's what they call it.
That's like a third fight.
Yeah.
So they have the third fight to decide
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
who. But am I crazy thinking maybe he's dealing with an injury right now?
Eye surgery or something. Yeah.
Oh, was it an eye?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe Rogan or something mentioned on the podcast that he's dealing with injury. And the time's ticking on DC for retirement. So some other fights that would be interesting. Of course, if John Jones decides to test the heavyweight water. I don't know that happens this year. Or John might find heavyweight. He just might not. I guess he'd probably have to fight and win a fight before he gets a title shot.
Yeah.
But who knows? They could just be like, hey, go out there. Since Francis has rebounded and come back, that was a decision fight. Stipe dominated it, but you have a better, more experienced Ngannou right now. So that could be some options. No one really else at heavyweight right now is. I guess, yeah.
I guess we got that Ngannou Rosenstruck happening at UFC Ohio coming up, but that I would assume whoever wins that would be the number 1 contender after Stipe and DC get finished.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad prediction. So, all right.
There's only one name in there that y'all might not know. Well, we talked about her before, but go ahead.
Who, Cortez?
No.
Or is it?
I ain't gonna say the name because we might not even get it.
Oh, okay. So we got Amanda Nunes.
The goat. The goat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a well argument to call her the GOAT on the women's side.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't even Cejudo say he wanted to fight her? Who did it?
He said he wanted to fight everybody. Shevchenko.
Shevchenko. That's who it was. Yeah, because he knows Amanda would stomp him.
Shevchenko might too.
She might, and that's why he went with her, because it's a might. So,
that was a fun Twitter back and forth.
what, them two?
Yeah, because I think Shevchenko was like pictures with guns and like.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. She's pretty scary.
Oh yeah, man. So we got Amanda Nunes here. She's got 2 belts right now. Well, wait, UFC stripped her of one, didn't they? Because they said she wasn't fighting enough in the.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They stripped Cejudo.
They stripped. Okay, that's who I'm thinking of. They stripped Cejudo because he wasn't fighting enough in both weight classes.
The lower one.
Okay, so they haven't stripped Amanda yet. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, what else is next for you when you're on the top? She's just gonna keep crushing it. That's really my only prediction for her because there's not much to say when you're already there.
Yeah, she's crushing it.
Yeah, so it's like I just predict her year's just gonna be where it's at now.
Yeah.
You know, she was kind of stunned a little bit by the woman she just now fought.
Jermaine
Random Man.
Yeah.
So that woman kind of like stunned her a little bit, but like she's still on top.
Now, was that the woman that had the belt and then they had her scheduled Cyborg and she's like, nope. And,
I think that is right. Yeah.
And they stripped her
Mm-hmm.
because she wouldn't fight Cyborg.
Yep.
Man, well, I would have stripped her too. So.
Now that Cyborg's not in
Well, now she's got Nunes, and she lost to Nunes. So.
I would like to see Amanda and Cyborg fight again, but that's never going to happen because Cyborg's in Bellator now.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah. I don't think Dana White wants her to come back.
He's done with her.
Yeah, he's done with her. So, well, Amanda's going to keep crushing it.
Let's see. Corey Anderson.
That's not bad.
I like that guy.
2020 for Corey Anderson. I believe it is looking like he is going to beat Jan Blachowicz for the second time. He's already beat him once by decision. I believe this time it might be a little bit worse. And I believe he's going to get the title shot with John Jones later in the summer.
That's not bad.
That's my prediction for him.
I agree with you 100%.
I hope he gets that title shot.
I like the guy. I remember me and you was talking about. We listened to him on Rogan. He's a good guy.
He has a fire under him right now where he feels disrespected, but he's also kind of trending on being difficult for Dana.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with that.
Dude, he killed me when he knocked out Johnny Walker, and then he did the worm in the ring. That was the worst worm I've ever saw. But it's okay, man. You just knock somebody out.
Well, we already talked about this guy. So Jorge.
Oh, dude, I wanted him.
What? You want him?
Nah, no. I was like, oh,
You see how Mary spelled his name?
You see how Mary what?
Yeah. So she just wrote George Masvidal.
George. It's cool.
Yeah, so the sky's the limit. He has the UFC in his hand. If they can make stuff work out, he can do essentially whatever he wants. If it's a title shot, if it's money, if it's whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, what can you say when there's so much on the table?
Yeah. We already talked about it. So.
Yeah. Oh, Tyrone Woodley. Oh God, that sounded so what? Tyrone Woodley.
Tyrone Woodley.
God, I sounded like Bill Nye the Science Guy. Okay, Tyrone Woodley. We kind of mentioned him earlier though a little bit. I think he's kind of got that fire we talked about. I think after he's if he gets this next win, he's gonna have to fight one more time. Maybe 2 more times in order to get that title shot, but he's got that fire in him. I think he's hungry. He wants to go back. So he might be getting his belt by the end of 2020. We'll see.
Not a bad prediction.
Marcus likes that one. That's his guy.
Marcus likes what?
That's his.
That's my guy.
Tyron's his guy.
Well, I got 2 of them. Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier, what's 2020 looking like for him? He has been vouching to get this Nate Diaz fight. That's what I want to see. I'm hoping that's what I'm going to give for my prediction for him in 2020. They was already booked to fight each other at UFC 230 at Madison Square Garden. I believe that fight, it's going to be difficult to get Nate to take that fight, but I believe they will eventually get it to happen.
This year?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Were you good?
Oh, I'm done. Yeah.
So I got Joanna, Jędrzejczyk.
That's my girl.
Yeah, she's great. Instagram career is killing it. She already is scheduled to fight Wei Lee, right?
Mhm.
I don't see her winning that fight.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
It's a tough fight.
I was gonna say it ain't easy. Like
I
it's
think
like
Wei Lee is on a Amanda Nunes type path.
well,
Strong.
it's like
She's a killer. She has a nation behind her. It's just where the
I
the
know.
American bias. We've only seen her fight once,
Yeah.
and we didn't even watch it because that was actually the night before our podcast the first time, and we were like, "Who is this girl?"
Yep.
Yeah,
But
We know who she is now.
so Joanna after this, yeah, I don't know.
but this could be like Rocky.
Yeah, maybe. So she's fought Rose and lost twice, so we don't want that. She lost to Shevchenko, right? I don't really know. I mean, she's done so much.
She already beat Andrade, but they've only fought once.
If she loses, I don't know what's there for.
Rose and Andrade are scheduled to fight, though, on the Khabib Ferguson card, so.
I think I would love Rose to win that. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, she's fought just about everybody and beat most people except for, the top.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, she was at the top for a while. She was the pinnacle, so I don't know.
Okay.
To be
Okay.
honest,
So
I just
you
don't
think
know.
she's gonna lose to Wei Lee?
I think so.
Dude, I hate to say it because that's my girl, but like, Wei Lee's gonna be a hard fight.
Mhm.
So, but UFC isn't scheduling easy fights.
No, when you're Joanna and
Yeah.
did she tie Ronda Rousey's fight win streak and before, or was it she had to beat Rose?
She was close, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then she lost.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's top name, but
exactly.
it's been
But-
tough. She's
Wei Lee won't be easy.
no, I don't think so.
All right. What we got Alexander Volkanovski. Okay. Now I need you to remind me.
Just beat Max Holloway. We watched
Okay,
it.
okay.
Oh, okay.
You was thinking Alexander Volkov. I knew.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, I needed him to
Oh,
clarify
yeah,
because I get these
that's-
two mixed up, and they're both bald, right?
Yeah, but they're different. He's
Yeah.
New Zealand and
He was the
The
rugby
other dude's
player.
Russia.
yeah, it's like Eastern European and Russia.
He just beat Max Holloway. Okay, I'm glad you reminded me because I get those two mixed
Oh
up
no!
all the time. So, well, I did that on one podcast not long ago. I was like, "Yo, is he ready to fight again with that neck after he fought Lewis?"
Oh yeah. Like he went through a whole conversation about the Lewis fight and stuff, and I was like, "That's the wrong guy."
That's the wrong dude. So, okay. He's the champ right now, but I think they're gonna give Max an immediate rematch because he's been on top for a while. Then I've got a good feeling Max is gonna come back with that fire that champs get when they're no longer the champ. Every champ gets it, especially when you held that belt for a long time. You want it.
Sometimes they
So,
needed it. They needed
Yeah,
that,
exactly, and that's where I feel like Woodley's at. I think he needed that. Like I think he needed to be taken off the pedestal for a minute because I think we're gonna start seeing a Woodley that's like no other Woodley. I think we'll even see a Woodley that could have beat the old Woodley when he was in his prime. So with just that anger and adrenaline. So I don't know, Alexander Volkanovski. I think he's gonna lose to Max Holloway this year because I predict there's gonna be a rematch between the two.
Yeah, I think that's a fair prediction.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if Max is a guy that's going to have that crazy fire underneath him. He's has that so much laid back, doesn't care. Well, I don't say doesn't care, but laid back.
Well, yeah, just the
water off a duck's back, Hawaiian,
Yeah.
bruh, kind of stuff. But I do think he'll come back because Max Holloway's the greatest. What weight class? Featherweight.
Yeah.
Featherweight of
Yeah.
all time. I think he'll have his hands full when Max comes back.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think it'll be. I'm not gonna say an easy win because it wasn't an easy win, but I don't think you're gonna sit there and go, "Oh, Alexander won."
That was another one that was like there was a decision and it could have went either way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Let's see. Conor McGregor.
mm.
What is 2020 gonna look like for him? I'll get into this later, but I've made it known on the last couple of podcasts. I think 2020 for McGregor is gonna look like him TKO and Cowboy Cerrone in the first round, Once he gets past that fight, it's hard to predict what's next. He could be a stand-in for if Khabib or if Tony get hurt. I think more than likely, though, if he gets past Cowboy, dude, there's so much stuff if he gets past Cowboy. But I'm gonna say either a fight with Nate Diaz for the third time or that Masvidal fight. I think that's what would be next if he beats Cowboy Cerrone.
Not bad.
I mean, we got.
Oh wow! So I was just talking about Rose. Rose Namajunas. Probably said that wrong, but I'm a big Rose fan. She's having her bounce back fight, a rematch of her last loss, which was a championship fight. It's not a championship fight this time. She was winning that fight until was it Andrade?
She got slammed.
Yeah, she got slammed on her head, in kind of a weird wrestling thing. Not something you see a whole lot of. You saw that one. You saw when Lawler spiked. Oh shoot! What's his name? The wrestler.
Askren.
Dude,
that was crazy.
Yeah. Dropped her right on her head. But she was winning that fight up until that. She was piecing her up, wasn't she? And that's why Andrade went in to wrestle. So I think Rose comes back, gets that win. Maybe she fights Wei Li after Wei Li beats Joanna. One thing I would hate to happen. Well, I wouldn't hate to happen if Joanna does beat Wei Li and Rose does win. No one wants to watch that third fight. Rose beat her pretty good both times. So,
yeah.
Who knows? Might be a little gridlock. Might be a. Of course, Rose beat her twice and would be the challenger. So maybe they would run it back a third time.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Are you a big Rose fan?
I am.
I could tell.
I like Rose a lot. She's chill. She's from Colorado or something.
No, you got
her husband's a cool guy
from
too.
Colorado.
I forgot his name. He used to fight in the UFC. Pat.
And after she lost, she's like, I might just retire and hang out on my farm. And I like her.
Yeah, she's chill. That's why I like Cowboy. Pat Barry.
That's her husband.
Pat
he used
Barry.
to fight in the UFC.
Cowboy's doing crazy stuff. Rose is just hanging out and farming and
I know.
chilling.
I know. You gotta love those people.
Yeah.
So we got Alistair. Did you spell that right?
Mary
did these?
Right.
Is that spelled? I don't think that's how you spell his name. AIR?
I don't know.
She was like, when I was reading the names off to her, she was like, these got to be the hardest names. And I was like, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I was hoping we had a
Well, you would
poster.
probably just have the last name.
Nah, Overeem ain't been on the poster.
Well,
Yeah. So he got some moon man got him.
Just got knocked out by Rosenstruck.
I know. What is
When
next
he
for him?
dominated the whole fight. Yeah.
It's a shame.
I don't know what's next for him. I mean, he's still a top name heavyweighter, but I don't really know what's next for him.
He said he wants hot balls.
Hot balls.
That's what he said in the interview.
I know we talked about that last week or 2 weeks ago.
Well, he talked about that before he got knocked out. But
Okay, so then we talked. I know we talked about that.
Still on the table.
Yeah.
I guess that's all that could be next, because it ain't gonna be like a Nagano. It ain't gonna be a Rosenstruck. It ain't gonna be a DC or Miocic.
Yeah.
So I guess the only one you have left is Lewis, unless you pulled someone up from like rank 9 or 10.
Now, is Rumble still is making a comeback, right?
Yeah, that would be
That'd be
pretty
tough for
dangerous for Overeem's chin.
Well, then that might be who's next, though.
Yeah.
It might be what they do. Then.
Because you see the UFC do that
Rumble some
sometimes.
momentum, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, well, who knows?
Let's see. Israel Adesanya.
That's a good one.
That's a good name.
Killer.
2020 for him. He is going, and this is my opinion, he is going to get beat by Yoel Romero on March 8th.
Oh.
Then he's gonna have to build back up. He's gonna have to maybe beat Darren Till after that, beat Robert Whitaker. But that's just my personal opinion.
Israel versus Darren Till would be fun.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Well, I have Tony Ferguson, spelled Furgeson.
Okay, so that is wrong.
Yeah.
So I think Alistar Overeem might be wrong.
Yeah. Oh well.
That's funny.
So yeah, probably the most anticipated fight hasn't happened yet is Tony Khabib, and that's happening here in the next few months. You know, if there's a guy that can beat Khabib, it's either Tony or GSP, and you know who knows. That's I don't think anybody knows. I mean, they can act like they do. No one knows what happens there. If he wins, he's the champ, and you know maybe gets a Conor, or maybe gets, you know, maybe a Poirier, or what if they fought?
Who?
Ferguson and Poirier. No,
they haven't fought.
Who was there was three Conor, Ferguson, Khabib. That's right. Yeah, maybe he gets a Conor fight. Maybe you know who knows. He would deserve a Conor fight, get that big paycheck. But that's and if he loses, maybe a Conor fight. I don't know.
Yeah, that kind of depends on Conor though.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we got.
I don't know if I don't know if Conor would want that.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if the UFC told him, "Hey, you have to fight Tony to get that title shot," he would. But I don't know if that would be the sexy option when he could fight a Diaz or he could fight whoever.
A Masvidal. Yeah. Like you. I think you said it well. That's not the sexy fight Conor wants. Like he wants something that's gonna make waves.
Mm-hmm.
So we got. Oh, Rosenstruck. How in the world do you say his first name?
Just say Rosenstruck.
Yeah. Yarzino?
I think.
Have you ever heard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds familiar to what people say, yeah.
Yarzino Rosenstruck. I think he's just going to keep crushing it in the heavyweight. I don't really...
He's fighting Ngannou next, so...
Or Anderson.
Huh?
No, Anderson's light heavyweight.
Yeah. Him and Ngannou's fighting headline in UFC Ohio.
Mm.
Hard prediction to make, man.
I forgot that's who he was next. Well, that slipped my mind. I don't know, man. Ngannou, he's kind of... I think he's climbed on that mountain and, you know, seen some shaman.
Like Masvidal.
Like Masvidal. Not legitimately, but I'm saying he's came back like Masvidal. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a new... we're seeing a new one. And so...
Think about the last time he faced somebody with as much power as him, though, in Ngannou. You know how that fight went.
It was boring.
Yeah.
So, but you know, arguably with that fight, well, like Ngannou, they both sucked, but really arguably with that fight, Lewis just runs out of energy. So like he's heavy, like he's a hard hitter, but like we see him run out of energy in the first round when he's actually throwing. But that's for that fight alone. With I don't know, man. I think he's gonna lose. I forgot that's who his next fight was. Ngannou, he's kind of he's up there right now.
Monster.
So yeah. So.
Last one. Let's see. Dominic Reyes.
Not bad.
Dominic Reyes 2020. Tough fight against John Jones. I think John Jones is gonna beat him pretty convincingly. I can't really say how it's gonna go. I don't predict John Jones finishing him, nor do I predict John Jones finishing anybody in his next couple of fights. But I feel like it'll just kind of be pretty clear that John Jones is the winner if it goes 5 rounds. So maybe after that, we see Dominic Reyes fighting somebody like Anthony Smith or something in 2020. I do think he'll keep getting bigger fights in that light heavyweight division, but we might see something like Dominic Reyes versus Anthony Smith after he most likely loses to John Jones or Corey Anderson. There's some fights for him. He's fairly new to the division. I didn't think he's not new to the division, but he's fairly new to those top guys. In my personal opinion, I didn't think he deserved that title shot against John Jones right off. He beat a Chris Weidman that wasn't having success at middleweight recently, and then he came up as a new person at light heavyweight. I just don't understand why that earned him a title shot, but
because Corey Anderson's difficult.
Yeah.
Fair. Oh, sorry, man.
So there was some names in there that I was hoping we would draw. There was some kind of people that wasn't ranked that were big names. So I was kind of hoping we'd draw Greg Hardy. I was kind of hoping one of y'all would get Clarissa Shields.
Who in the world is that?
That is, she just won a title fight last weekend in boxing. She's the most dominant woman in women's boxing right now.
We did talk about her
in weight class. That could be what's next for Amanda. But I was hoping one of us would
forgot
get
that.
Card.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I forgot that was out there. A boxing match.
And
But she did say she wanted to fight Amanda first in boxing, but then would return the favor and come over in MMA and fight
But
her.
she also said
That's right.
that she has it
strict
planned.
boxing.
She has already planned out that she is going to be making a run at MMA. She said her goal was to have her first MMA fight. Obviously, it's going to be on a lower level scale, I would suggest. But she said she wants to have her first MMA fight by the end of 2020. She said that it has already been planned and agreed upon that after John Jones' fight with Dominic Reyes, that she will be joining John Jones for training.
That's exciting, man.
So, yeah.
I forgot all about that. I might have mentioned that for Amanda, but that slipped my mind too.
But those were just kind of like the wild card names in there. I was hoping we'd get.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Nice. Well, we've got McGregor in the news, obviously, because he's fighting next weekend.
Yeah.
So he's got 6 days until he fights. Again, just saying things that just gets under your skin. Are you a McGregor fan?
I have been, but his antics. Well, not even the antics. I like the trash talk and I like the attitude, but punching old dudes in bars and whatever.
Disrespected my proper 12.
Whatever other allegations that have happened to him in Ireland, that especially whenever he's. Is he married or are they just dating?
Yeah. No, they're married.
No, they're married and he has 2 kids and then he's still out here. Who knows if they're real or not, but. Typically, if there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
So I've fallen out of love with Connor.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe he's doing the same thing Covington's doing, just doing whatever to kind of get people aroused because, controversy brings money. So
I just think he's in that stage where
he just doesn't care.
When people make it, they start
losing it.
Yeah.
That's why I want Cowboy to. So. But I know it's tough. I know it's tough for Cowboy. He's not been at his best performance his last few fights. So that kind of sucks. But I thought he was going to win that one fight. I forgot who he was fighting, but where he blew his nose and it made his eyes swell up.
That was Ferguson.
That was Ferguson.
Oh, that was
He
Ferguson.
was getting dominated.
Yeah.
But dude, I know it wasn't going well, but
he was
still.
going to last the whole 5 rounds.
That's what I'm saying, though, because, like...
Yeah, but those last 2 were going to be ugly.
Yeah, but he's like, he's like your boy Diaz. You could hit him in the head with a shovel. He ain't going down.
Yeah.
So...
Dude, that kick from Masvidal, that scared me.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I thought that was going to be the first time he got knocked out, that head kick from Masvidal.
Dude, that would have been funny. Like, I would have felt bad for you. I felt bad for you when he lost. But, like, he was fighting Masvidal.
Yeah.
They're kind of on 2 different levels.
He didn't really lose.
Yeah, he was gonna lose, though. Like,
I don't know.
You just said you were afraid.
He turns it on in those 4th and 5th rounds.
See, it wasn't going to go the distance, though. Like, Masvidal was going to put him out.
Masvidal ain't a triathlete.
Diaz ain't as good of a fighter.
But let's
okay, so back to McGregor.
Yeah, let's talk about this interview he did with ESPN before we get predictions with these fights. So he sat down with ESPN. Now the full interview hasn't been released yet, but they released this statement that he said during the interview. He said that he could beat Cowboy at any weight. He said they just chose to do it at this because he he said he could beat him at 155, 145, 170, 185. He said he could beat Cowboy at all those weights. He even stated he could beat Cowboy with the flu. And I hope this does not happen. I don't like him making that statement because it is flu season. And
well, he's going to go in there. Well, let's hope he gets the flu and he goes in there.
No.
Flu game.
Oh, yeah, flu game.
I think that's probably true. If Connor is Connor and, is at his game, I think that's true. Any weight class.
I think it is true.
I think the weight class that it's least likely at is 170, though. I think 170 is on the heavy side for Connor. I mean, we saw it when he fought Nate. Of course, Nate's the freak that y'all were just talking about where he doesn't quit and he is tough, but Cowboys, kind of the same way, not as much. And I think you got here on the notes. He also says he could compete with all the top welterweights.
Yeah, he hinted that he could stay at this division. He hinted that it's still his goal to get that third title.
I think I still think welterweight's too heavy for him.
I gotta
I don't
agree.
want to see Conor versus Usman.
that would go how Khabib went, but worse.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not because Khabib had the extra hate and desire, but just he doesn't have the knockout power with the bigger guys. His cardio is awful. I don't think it would go well for him.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like I really think that's fair. He needs to stick in his weight classes now, not go up to welter. So, but I would be interested to see a Masvidal.
That would be sexy.
And McGregor.
It'd be sexy.
That would be that would get a lot of people.
They're both going to stand and strike too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that would go in Connor's favor.
And then
Masvidal wouldn't take him down.
And then we'd get to see Conor knocked out. Like that would feel just as good as watching Covington lose.
Dude, you would either get Conor knocked out or he'd get cut open like Diaz.
That's what I'm saying. Like Masvidal would finish it. I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, dude, you should have seen us in the bar when Covington lost. We were dicks. There was so many people in there, but they were being total tools.
Yeah.
Like they were standing in front of the TVs, like they were in their house.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The people were being jerks, and so we were instigating that crap. So anytime Covington would throw a punch and it would land, whether it would land or not, really, you'd see like a few select guys going, yeah, woo, woo, get him, like just like over and over. And so me and Marcus kept doing the same thing.
They got real quiet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no, they did not. They got pissed. They were like, what? Well, that's some bullshit. Like they were mad that the ref stopped it with 50 seconds to go in the fifth round. We were
bearing down on him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. We laughed. We were rolling. But we thought he was going to lose at the end of the fourth. So, we both thought there's no way he's going to last the fifth. But then he had 50 seconds to go and the ref stopped it. So, I hope, I don't want to see McGregor beat Cowboy. But if he does, I want him to get Masvidal next. Because I want somebody to put him down.
Put him down like a sick dog.
Yeah, put him down like that horse on the farm. But...
So let's get into the UFC 246 card predictions. Only fight I care about. We're going to predict the whole main card. The only fight I care about is Conor versus Cowboy. I think this is a terrible card other than that. That's what I was telling you. Like, if we go watch this, I would probably just want to go to the bar about like 10, maybe get there as soon as the main card starts. I'm not sitting there like we usually do through all the prelims and stuff because this is terrible.
No, I agree completely.
Starting out with the opening fight on the main card, Anthony Pettis versus Diego Ferreira. Dude, we've seen Pettis fight all kinds of big names, and this is what we get. But let's go ahead and predict this.
What's your thoughts, Ethan?
Pettis W, man.
Yeah.
I gotta agree.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty standard.
I agree too. I don't know enough about this Diego Ferreira. This could be his coming out party, but I want to see Pettis fight. Like, people will want to see him fight.
He just knocked out Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy's the top.
And then he lost to Diaz. Yeah. And Diaz was, he was bigger than him. Like, Pettis shouldn't have been at 170 anyways.
Yeah.
So, definitely Pettis, though.
Moving on to the next one, Claudia Gadelha versus Alexa Grasso. I don't know who Alexa Grasso is, so I'm going to go with Claudia Gadelha on this.
Is that Gadelha or
Ghirardelli?
Yes.
I'm going to go with Alexa Grasso. I kind of just looked at both of their Wikipedias, and I think... Actually, I watched Grasso's last fight against the Polish woman who has it's like Carolina or something.
Coach Chaychik or something.
I don't know, but it was a pretty decisive victory, and I was impressed by it, so I'm gonna go with her.
Cool. I don't really know either person, so I'm just gonna go with the Grasso because you have a lot of you're confident. So I'm just gonna go with that. I don't really know who they.
That's who I'm gonna pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think she's the underdog, but
I don't know.
the favorites don't always win, so I'm gonna go with her.
No, like Cowboy.
So let's move on to the next one. This is a fight like this is what I think should be opening up the main card because this is actually kind of interesting. We're getting that build up, but it shouldn't be the third fight, towards that main event. But we got Alexei Oleinik versus Maurice Green. I like this fight. It should have opened up the main card, and then we should have had better fights leading up. But Maurice Green, he won tough, or he almost won tough. I can't remember what season it was, but he is undefeated in the UFC, Maurice Green. And Alexei Oleinik, he is kind of stays in that top 10 a lot. I think he's number 12 right now, but Alexei Oleinik is one of those bigger names in that heavyweight division. So I like this fight a lot.
That was my elbow.
What the hell was that?
I think this fight puts Maurice Green into that top 10. I believe he's going to get by Alexei Oleinik. I believe probably by knockout or TKO. Not in the first round, but Maurice Green is very powerful.
What do you think, Ethan?
Oh, these are heavyweights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides Stipe, DC, Ngannou, John Jones, heavyweights not deep. No, I just don't care.
That's why Overeem is literally
stacked,
always one fight away from a title shot because there's no name.
I think here is I would call it a coin flip, and not hearing you talk about Oleinik's kind of been around and maybe a gatekeeper. Maurice Green's this hot guy that's undefeated in the UFC. I'd probably pick Green, but flip a coin, whoever lands the big one. With heavyweights until they get tired and they lay on each other, and there's such a difference between the top and the contenders. It's just not.
That's really fair. That's a fair statement for heavyweight. It's almost two different divisions. Mm-hmm. So you got like you said, you got a division that's just like gassed the whole time.
Now, if we could do some kind of cross promotion thing with Bader, that would be fun.
They need to do that in the future.
Yeah,
one card a year or one card every 2 years where we just cross over.
That'd be fun.
I'm just gonna go with you. It's a coin flip, man. That's kind of how I felt about this one and the Claudia Ghirardelli lady, and this one. I just whoever. I don't know any of the people.
Yeah. So let's get into the co-main event. This doesn't really feel like a co-main event. This feels more like a second fight or a third fight on the main card, but it's the co-main event. That's what we get. But Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington. This is kind of a tough one. I know they've both been around in this weight class. They're both kind of like veterans to this weight class. I'm gonna go with Holly Holm. I don't really think it gets her anywhere after this, but I think she'll win this fight most likely by decision. I just don't understand, what it's gonna get her. There's not too much left,
Yeah, I agree. I'm a huge Holly Holm fan. Huge.
Especially bigger than Rose?
Yeah. My favorite UFC moment of all time is after when she head kicks Ronda and just the joy, just and then she contains it and is very professional and pro about it. But that split second where you just see that joy come out after she knocks out, it's my all-time favorite. Every time that highlight comes up on Instagram or whatever, I watch it. My all-time favorite moment. I will always root for Holly Holm, even though, but to Mark's point, she only loses to the top people.
Yeah.
A Nunes, Cyborg. So she's hit her head on that ceiling. So there's really not anywhere to go for her. And those fights were so convincing. She's not going to get another title shot. Unless it's just by default because there's nobody else. It's
not like she can pull Aldo and go down.
Yeah, she's done
really
multiple weight classes.
Yeah, she's done 135, 145. She couldn't make 125. So
yeah, and her last fight with Megan Anderson, right?
Yeah,
that was super impressive because everyone knows Holly's a striker. She's a puncher kicker, and she knew Megan Anderson was coming out of kickboxing, right? And she wrestled her. held her down, wrestled her, dominated her. And I thought that was super impressive.
Her game plan for that fight was
it was great. And I was a fan of Megan Anderson coming in, but we saw she's one dimensional, and it's kind of been a weird run for her because she had the Kat Zingano fight where she kicked her in the eye, and they had to stop it and all. But that last fight for Holly was impressive, changing styles and doing something that she's not known for and doing it well. So I'm going with Holly.
Well, you got to. She's an incredible fighter.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I mean,
and she trains down there with John Jones. So
yeah.
So you like watching that moment more than the Masvidal knockout?
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say, every time I'm on Twitter and something and I see that Masvidal knockout, I always
I watch
replay
it.
Well, because it's probably one of the shortest videos on the internet.
It doesn't give me the enjoyment that one does.
The Kevin Lee head kick of Gregor Gillespie is up there too. When that pops up.
That's not even the best Kevin Lee video.
Yeah.
Kevin Lee videos whenever he does the stanky leg after he
Well, no, one reason why I love obviously just the sheer power of the Masvidal knockout. That's so exciting. But I just wasn't an Askren fan.
Yeah.
So
means more to you,
Yeah, so that's why I really love that knockout, because it just shut him up, shut Marcus up, and shut the world up. Yeah.
He did a lot. He got people paid.
Yeah.
People cared about his fights.
He was a good thing.
He made people
I'm not going to disagree. I'm just glad it's over.
He made people care about a fight with Damian Maia.
Yeah.
That it was like the fight of the best grapplers. They made people care about that.
I know.
It's not that I hated Ronda. It's not that. It's that moment no one thought Ronda could lose. She made the sport. She was unbeatable. She was beating everybody in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then Holly came in there and said, cool. And just knocked her out with a head kick. Dominated her up to that point and chipped away at it. Hit her with the head kick. And then just that moment of joy. If you watch it, I love it.
I'm not going to disagree. That was a very exciting
My
fight.
favorite moments in sports is that it's when a team wins the World Series and they all run and tackle each other on the mound and jump around.
They're celebrating.
Dwayne Wade, they just finished the finals. He throws the ball up in the air. I love those moments.
I'm not going to disagree, man.
Corey Anderson doing the worm after he knocked out Johnny Walker.
I'm not going to give him that one because that was ugly.
That was terrible. Even Johnny Walker was laughing at him during that because Johnny Walker could dance. So that was kind of cool seeing Johnny Walker find humor in that after he just got knocked out.
Oh,
he's nice. You might can knock me out, but you can't dance, man.
We'll have a dance battle.
Yeah.
I don't know that knockout means that much. I mean, Johnny Walker was knocking everybody out, and he was as hot. Probably he still is a hot prospect, but he hadn't been tested.
Mm-hmm. Well, then we got the main event: McGregor and Cowboy. What's your take on it, Ethan?
I think it's maybe a second round TKO for McGregor.
I just hate to hear it.
I know, and I love Cowboy. But if Connor's coach, what's his name, Kavanaugh?
Yeah, John Kavanaugh. Yeah,
he seems. he's not going to BS anybody, and if he's saying Connor looks, the best he's ever looked and is motivated, and you kind of have to, if it was Connor saying that. That's just words. It doesn't matter. But with Kavanaugh saying that, who seems to be a good, moral, upright, trustworthy person, I'm excited. If we get more fights of Conor in form as he was when he fought Alvarez, that's only good. And Cowboy, he's great, all-time great, legend, Hall of Famer, but he's another guy that just kind of hits his head on the ceiling there with the top guys. Gaethje's and the Tony Ferguson's recently. And
Yeah. What's your take, Marcus?
So my take on it is, I know I've said this a couple of times already, but I think McGregor he's gonna go out there and do similar to he did in Aldo. I can't remember when he finished Aldo, but
Aldo was the 13 seconds
in the first round.
There.
Yeah. So I think it's not gonna be probably as soon as that. But I'm kind of thinking within that first 1 to 2 minutes, he puts Cowboy away.
You think it's that quick?
Yeah, and I'm kind of doing MMA math on this, but as we've seen in the past, Cowboy is not good with good strikers. So we see Justin Gaethje, Cowboy. He didn't do.
I think he did pretty. He didn't do bad with Gaethje.
Yeah. I don't know if it's that fast because it's the 170. But I do think TK's going pretty quick.
We're talking about Cowboy versus
fight.
Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz dominated him. He hasn't done good with strikers in the past. And we're talking about a Justin Gaethje that beat Cowboy, got knocked out at the very end of the fight by Eddie Alvarez. Conor starched Eddie Alvarez. And that's kind of a lot of MMA math right there. Conor boxes with pretty much a professional boxer in Nate Diaz. Conor is a very high-level striker. I think Conor gets away with this one pretty easy, and it's because I think Cowboy, he kind of thinks, he kind of has this mindset like Masvidal, like Conor, that he's that BMF, that got that belt out there now. He's not going to wrestle. He needs to wrestle. If he wrestles, he has a chance. If he doesn't, I do not believe he does.
Drag Conor out and make it a long fight, he has a good shot.
We seen Cowboy have some high-level grappling with his fight with Mike Perry. He can do it.
Mike Perry's not hard.
Yeah.
No.
But if I'm just putting a lot of trust in Kavanaugh's word that Conor is Conor. If he comes out and he's sleeping in silk sheets and driving his Rolls Royce and life's good and he's not the same, then not. No, and Cowboy's able to drag him out, and Cowboy can win. But if he's motivated, I don't think Cowboy has much of a chance.
Yeah, Cowboy has got to wrestle. He's got to go for takedowns. He's got to grapple a little bit.
Conor has good takedown defense.
He sort of
we
does.
We did see that with Khabib. He has good.
Stopped Khabib the first
several times.
And even
then Khabib rocked him though.
Well, that's because he was so that series that DC does detail on ESPN Plus. They talk about it. It was like Conor was watching for Khabib to kind of start dropping, and then he was going for the takedown defense. And Khabib, it was a great disguise. He started to drop and then gave him that looping and caught him. And
it was beautiful. It was a beautiful maneuver.
That was great X's and O's strategy.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what makes Khabib arguably the GOAT for that. I mean, I know he's known for wrestling.
Strong, and
oh god,
and it still didn't even. I mean, it hurt Conor, but
yeah,
he was never in danger.
Well, no, he was never in danger. Yeah. But for a wrestler to rock him, like the UFC world was blown up over that. Like at that moment,
that's also people hate Conor.
That's that too.
That's more of that. What you with Askren. Like that's
yeah. But for like people who are just like who understand the fighters and was like Khabib's a wrestler and he just rocked him like that also got people really excited. But then to see, like you said, Conor get rocked.
He used the wrestling for the opportunity. It's like in football, whenever like the Tennessee Titans right now are running the ball all over everybody in the playoffs, but they'll hit you with a play action pass over the top every once in a while.
Yeah, they crushed the Ravens last night.
Yeah, that was wild. Like a lot of people predicted them to beat the Patriots, but man, I don't think they had a chance.
Yeah, I'm going for Cowboy. I just got heart.
He's gonna need heart.
Yeah,
he's gonna need it, but he has it.
I'm giving it to him.
Oh, I mean, I agree with you. Like going for him, a lot of people are disrespecting Cowboy. Like Dana White said, the disrespect for Cowboy, with people not giving him a chance, is kind of been ridiculous. Yeah, he has the most wins in UFC history. I just feel like Conor's a different type of guy. Like Ethan said, Cowboy hasn't been good with top 5 guys. He kind of gets to that top 5 and hits the ceiling.
But if we want to argue, McGregor really is he even top 5 where he hasn't fought in like a year and a half or something?
I mean, his only losses.
But no, like he kept moving down the ranks because he wasn't fighting, right?
That was an activity.
But I mean, his most recent losses are Floyd Mayweather, the best professional boxer,
arguably a conspiracy
ever. But
Khabib, I mean, which was maybe the best.
Yeah,
maybe the GOAT.
Yeah, maybe the GOAT. Yep.
But that I know that. I know Conor typically is a top 5. I know the reason he isn't is because of inactivity. But I'm still going for Cowboy.
Yeah, that's okay. I go for Diaz. I don't care who Diaz is facing every fight. I go for Diaz.
Dude, if Diaz fought Cortez, you'd still go for Diaz.
Who's Cortez?
No, Garcia.
Oh yeah,
Garcia over in China. Oh my God, that'd be ugly. I want to see her go to the UFC.
They ain't never gonna have a heavyweight class.
That'd be awesome if they had a heavyweight.
I think
women.
she makes 205, but they're never gonna have yeah.
Oh, she's the one that's in. Was it Japan?
Gabby Garcia.
Japan, yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
Like
they
looks like Patrick Star.
They have to, fight her against grandmas and stuff because they don't fight. Yeah.
It's just so funny, man.
Just
Huh? Juice though?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I would love to see her come to the UFC. Like if they made a women's heavyweight division.
They're having trouble finding
they can't find
145ers.
Yeah.
Well, let's just talk about pure heavyweights. Like, let's not have all these weight classes. Let's have heavyweights. So, oh well, that'd be awesome. But Cowboy's gonna win. So, don't know how. Might be knockout.
Oh.
Yo.
No.
His only knockout punch is that head kick he does.
Yeah.
He gets everyone with it though. Like he gets everybody with that head
He
kick.
gets
Matt Brown.
No, he gets the real estate guy from New York.
Alaquinta
And the young guy he fought before that with it. But,
Alexander Hernandez.
Yeah. That was like, I'm going to end his career, and then Cowboy just went out there and wrecked him.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that fight.
Yeah, I did too, because he was like disrespecting Cowboy, calling him old and stuff. So.
Yeah.
And he was young. He was like 24 or something.
Cowboy dropped him like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to watch Cowboy drop McGregor a few times.
That'd be fun.
Dude, that would be fun. Well, I'm excited. Are you going to go to B-Dubs next weekend?
I don't know. I don't typically make plans that far out ahead.
It's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
Marcus texted me a few days ago and was like, what time you going to do the podcast? Bro, I don't know.
Well, that kind of has to be planned out.
We're also well, it's because we had a guest this week, but also I'm moving, so it's kind of hard to like figure that out.
Yeah.
So, and then last night wasn't planned. Hanging out with everyone. Well, let's look forward to next weekend.
Yep, this is a good main event, not a good card, but I would suggest maybe not ordering the pay-per-view, but getting out to one of your local bars. For us, it's just B-Dubs. And
support the local economy.
Yeah, well, more bars might pick this up. Sharkies and stuff might pick this up just because it's Connor.
You know,
if Sharkies picks it up, it's more likely I come because it's closer.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, I want to thank Ethan for coming on and being a guest with us for the second time. We haven't had a guest in a while, so this was fun.
Yeah. Any last remarks? Awesome.
Go Hokies.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thanks, guys.